welcome and heil, come slingers. That's probably not going to last on YouTube for very long, but welcome to Disinformed After Dank. I'm Shane.
I'm Joan.
I'm Michael.
I'm Courtney.
And I'm not advertising. I am not holding anything. I do. I have Courtney's lovely thing as well that I'll do.
Corporate puppet.
Where is it?
Yay.
Here I am. There, we all have things.
Yay.
It's all of it.
I don't.
That
Good
is actually
content.
where I don't think Steven intended it, but that is where I consider the cum slingers as being fully formed, is between and Courtney's the one with the gun. So read into that whatever you will. But speaking about Courtney being far more interesting than the
Only
rest
reason
of
we're
us, we'll seg into this is just happening at random. We always said we will record after darks for the show, for the Disinformed podcast. For those of you who have no idea who the hell we are or why you're here, join the club. That would be 3/4 of this podcast in most instances. But what year is it, Michael? So we record a weekly podcast where we talk about random nonsense and we lie about it. It's a lot of fun, and I'm sure that you'll enjoy it. You can check it out. There's a link tree below. That's all the explanation you need as to who we are and why we are here, if you don't already know. But we were having a discussion post one of the more dismal and abysmal episodes that we've ever gotten through. So to kind of cope with the funeral dirge, we started having some laughs, and Courtney said she had a raucous story, which I am now twisting her arm into sharing with the remainder of us for the delight of us and the algorithm.
Yes.
And one of you.
Praise the algorithm.
Just to preface, our show and this YouTube video are not safe for children.
Yeah.
This is not a show for children.
Never is, never
Hide your
was,
kids.
never will be. And speaking of which, new artwork will be winging your way for the Cucked by God t-shirt that is officially going to be sanctioned.
Ooh,
God.
be still my beating heart. Ooh.
You'll appreciate this because when I was talking about that with Steven, I was like, why did you post that on your Twitter as opposed to the others? Like, oh, people actually follow my Instagram. I don't want to offend folks over
you're like,
there. So
thanks for hiring me, Steven.
I can't begrudge him too much because it's the joys of having created that material. It's delightful and I love it, particularly the red eyes on the woman. But in any event, there's a lot of wonderful artwork based on esoteric jokes from this show, and I'm sure we're going to wind up with a few more once we're finished with this. So please, Courtney, take it away. And if there are any children present, please get your parents' written permission for indemnification purposes for our podcast, because this is not our fault.
Exactly.
You turn into Gary Heidnick later, it's not on me.
Right.
Oh.
Sorry.
So we were discussing funny instances of being high. I personally use edibles as part of a medical treatment, but there was one instance where I took too many and had not eaten, and we were hanging out at one of our favorite local bars, and we're sitting there. One of this like regular topics of conversation with a couple of our friends is about Jonah Falcon. Is anybody familiar with what Jonah Falcon is famous for?
No.
Inventing falconry.
No.
Good.
I got
stats.
nothing.
So
Back real hard.
Back in the and you're not that far off. Back in the day, there used to be a texting service called Cha-Cha, and apparently at one point, my husband had sent a question with his cousins about who had the largest penis in the world, and they found out it was Jonah Falcon. My husband's name is also Jonah, so a joke ensued. And so we have this joke with a pair of our friends about Jonah Falcon and his, famed very large penis. And so we're sitting there at the bar, they're talking about Jonah Falcon, and I'm just sitting there giggling my head off. And they're like, what is so funny? And I was like, I can't tell you. It's so embarrassing. I can't tell you. And so finally they leave. We're in the parking lot. It's just Jonah and one of our other friends. And Jonah's like, what were you laughing at? And I was like, I can't tell you. Like, it was such a high thought, like, I can't. And he was like, you're going to tell me. And I was like, okay.
Here we go.
So my thought while we were sitting there and they were talking about this guy and his massive penis is like, what would I do if I had a penis that big? Like, what would be the first thing I would do? And my stupid high ass brain.
I remember now.
Beat baby seals to death.
Love it.
Not bad.
No, that's not nearly as creative as what I came up with. Which would be the first thing I would do if I had like a 14-inch long penis is I would go to a Krispy Kreme's, I would order a dozen donuts, and I would see how many would stack.
I don't know what you're talking about. That's
By the
pretty
way,
creative.
I
That's
think
very
we
creative.
figured out how you turn Homer Simpson gay.
Not a bad point.
Oh,
But
no.
also, so you're insinuating it's either that the penis is so big that without it being hard, you could fit all the donuts on it, or you're insinuating that you go into Dunkin' Donuts with a raging erection.
I usually do.
I mean, it's
Donuts,
Dunkin'
donuts.
Donuts.
You're
Yeah.
Really want that macchiato.
Ooh.
Yeah, that really makes
That
Krispy
moo
Kreme
latte.
sound like something different.
I'm Dunkin' D's nuts.
Well, yeah, you get the coffee for the nuts and the donut for the dick. There you go.
It's a cruller and a half.
That was worth sticking around and hitting record, I think.
And the best part about that is I tell this and I'm laughing so hard because I still think it's the funniest stupid thing I've ever said. And both of the guys turn to me and they go, "It wouldn't fit through that hole." And
Oh my god.
So which one of them has a certified chode?
Yeah, like
They're assuming girth, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
14-inch girth. Well, okay.
You could
Go
just have
ahead.
a needle dick.
Yeah.
you know, you make it work. If this is my dream, it's gonna happen. So that's the story of the one time I got a little too high.
If I had a 14-inch member, I think I would make it my series arc to be able to successfully do a cock push-up. That would be my arc. Yours is way better. But I think that would be my personal arc.
I think I would do an excessive amount of training to see whether or not I could actually qualify for the Olympics in the javelin toss.
I don't know. The first thing that came to mind would see if I can like make it crack like a whip, like crack a whip.
Skindiana Jones over here. Dun, 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 dun.
Not to-
If I can just do that with a thrust, so like I walk in and just.
Now,
not to be Pammy pessimist here, but my other thought is like, I don't think a single woman would have fun with you. Or
Oh,
like a partner would have
sounds-
fun with you.
oh, they
You're
would if they were
painful.
down the hall,
In the next room over.
just watching you try to get there.
I've bought 10, that's a good point because I've bought 10-foot cables, so I know like that context, like you could just like sit back there, be all the way over here.
Now, Michael, not to cut off the momentum from John's joke, but the second that you said yours, it made me wonder: would you have to have Dio at the ready? Not Dio, Devo at the ready every time you walk into a room? Do 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 do. Because now I just envision you sauntering down a hallway, just whipping the dick around.
Whoop-bam!
Shape it up.
Whoop-bam! Whoop-bam!
Also, Lord forbid that you're excited and wearing shorts, because then you're like an excited puppy just whipping around with your tail. Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah, that
He's wagging
5-inch
his
inseam becomes a real issue real
Oh,
quick.
no.
We've seen that his shorts can barely contain him as it is.
If you've heard the old wives' tale, I'm not that it's a wives' tale. It's probably certifiable. Certain giraffes, the reason that they have to eat at a certain high level, and they don't forage on the ground as much, is because if they raise their head too quickly, they'll just pass out from the lack of blood flow. I have a feeling if you've got a 14-inch dick, at some point you're going to get aroused and just keel over.
Yeah,
Like
it's
you
like,
can only operate. It's the Robin Williams joke, RIP, still one of my favorites. It's
Night,
like,
sweet
God
prince.
gave me a penis and a brain and only enough blood to run one at a time. So I don't think we're going to be able to form coherent thoughts if you're aroused with that. You're just going to be standing there going, It used to be a Lothario. The second that you start getting some blood flow, you're like, baby, you're so.
How's your sex life? Well, it's kind of non-existent.
So anyway, Mark, how's your sex life?
Narcolepsy.
Mark,
Sorry, that was a room
you
reference.
opened this this box, Courtney. So
What's in
Yeah,
the box?
Why couldn't they put the bunny back in the box?
Oh man, that's a story that I can't tell on air, but because it's not mine to share, but I'm going to tell all of you when we hang up, because that's the funniest
Hooray.
thing that I can't tell all of you here, because it's not my story. If it were mine,
get me out of here. I need to hear this.
yeah, zippity zoop.
Okay, all right, fine.
Thank you all for sticking around for this, because that was delightful, and I think we needed that after the slogging that we just endured. I didn't just subject you to it.
You brute fucked it into us. Yeah.
Yes, unfortunately. So, but thank you all for being here for another stirring installment, pun intended, of Disinformed After Dank, which is going to be how I have to label this, I think, for the first time. It's going to be grand. So for Disinformed this week on the tubes, I'm not even going to do the plugs. You know where everything is. If you love us, please show us how. Give us all of the
comments
stuff.
Yeah,
mash the comments. Yes,
mash the comments.
Smash the
into a thick paste. There you go.
Smash the Beatles. All the goat fans out there. Anywho, for Disinformed After Dank this week, I am in fact a cumslinger by the handle of Kenton Eldorado.
I am Timothy Lone Cactus.
And for John's sake, I am, as it says, Robert Greer.
Okay.
Coward.
Yeah. Also known as Algernon here.
Hey, Michael, do you know that's not what theirs say?
No, you gotta be. No! No.
That is what, man, we just broke Michael's existence right there on the way out the door.
Oh my God.
Courtney, that's why we love you.
Also, I don't know if it's too early to tell you this, Michael, but don't remove the backing. She put bees in there.
Wondered why I kept hearing buzzing over there.
Also, that would have been next level shit.
Keep hearing knocking in here. That's the bee's knees.
I'm so lost now.
Say the line, Michael.
No, Courtney didn't say goodbye yet.
Oh shit.
Oh.
I know she's a woman, so you weren't expecting her to speak, but for
just joking.
And I have a weird relationship with donuts when I'm high. I'm Jean Grey Ghost.
I think you're officially crispy at this point if we're going forward. Crispy Dunkin.
I'm just the whole dozen, you know?
Just the whole dozen.
We're going to call you Boston Cream, the Boston Creamer. She's Jean Grey Ghost, by the way.
Yes.
Michael.
Zippity zoop, we're out of here.